It's my Tech BB, and a lot of people ask, why don't I ever do shows on my kitchen table anymore? Well, it's because my daughters have completely taken over the house, and all I've got left is the garage. So, you guys are going to find out why right now. I got my daughters running around, and we are going to do some upgrades to the MacDev Droid. The biggest problem with the Droid, it's an absolutely amazing gun. The gun just comes with really terrible grips. If you go to Stinger Paintball, Stinger's pretty much one of the only companies that make aftermarket grips for the Droid. And if you guys are wondering what they're doing over there, I think they're playing around with a cardboard box. So, anyway, these are the grips that I got from Stinger Paintball. They look absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully you can see them. That's my little avatar from PBN. But let's go ahead and we're going to install a couple things on here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to install the Violent Products trigger on here. These are from Walter over at ProStar PB. And then the Droid has got a lot of O-rings in it. So going over to Oringmonkey, pick up an O-ring kit for the Droid is never a bad idea. And something that I'm really excited about is we're going to install the brand new Tadao Technologies OLED board for the Droid, which is really cool. So, and let's go ahead and start pulling the grips off. Telling you, you guys are in for a treat today. You guys are definitely in for a treat today. So now we're just going to prep the gun for to pull out the board, pull out the trigger. Let's remove the 6 set screws that are holding the grips in place. And we'll remove the barrel. This makes it a little easier to maneuver the... There we go. And since we are going to have to remove the grip frame, it's not a bad idea to remove the reg. Alright, you can have that. You're welcome. Alright, so pull the grip off, or pull the regulator off. Now as you see, I had a little piece of tissue in here. One in case I had to blow my nose, and 2 to prevent my battery from rattling around. So let's go ahead and pop off the battery. Out it goes. Now cool. Now I know that we're definitely going to have to be removing some of these wire harnesses. So let's go ahead and let's figure out which one's holding it to the body of the gun, which is the solenoid, and let's go ahead and remove that. That's one thing that's kind of intimidating about the Droid. It's a little old school. Kind of reminds me of like a 2002 Intimidator with all of the you're welcome. With all of the wire harnesses that are on here. Let's see, looks like I've got a left eye and a right eye, so let's go ahead and start pulling those out. And as much as possible, you're always going to want to pull it from the plastic connectors, the Molex connectors. You never want to grab from the wires if possible. So now I'm just basically pulling off all of the wire harnesses, grabbing them from the Molex connectors. There we go. Ooh, that was a little tough. Okay, now let's go ahead and while we got it, might as well just remove the board. And there's the stock board. And let's go ahead and remove the grip frame so we can get the trigger out. There we go. Okay, now I do know that we are going to have to replace, yep, the left and right eye wire and also on-off switch. Okay. Now actually, which is going to be really cool, is the Tadao board is going to replace a little bit of the spaghetti inside of the grip frame, because the Tadao board now uses the these little prongs here to press against the 9-volt instead of the battery harness, which is going to alleviate the problem of your battery rolling around, and also it eliminates that long harness and replaces the on-off switch. So I've got a small screwdriver here, so what we're going to do is let's go ahead and remove now it's got two small Phillips head screws, so we're just going to go ahead and remove those. No, don't touch that. Don't touch that. My daughters see paintball guns and they're like, ooh, shiny. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out which, I'm going to try to figure out which way the battery harness, okay, looks like that's on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to figure out which way the battery harness is so that it's push forward is off and, okay, so that way is on. So I want to spin that around. I want that way, okay. Basically what I just did there was the old switch, if you pushed it forward towards the gun, it was on. If you pushed it back, it was off. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I do it in that same configuration so I don't confuse myself when I'm out there on the field. Alright. Sweetie pie. Let's go ahead and pull off the OLED screen, which looks like I need to do that in order to put this in place. And I need to remove the old micro switch. So remove the old switch, and let's go ahead and remove the spring holder. There we go. We've almost got this taken apart. Now what holds the trigger in place, and you can see that's the old trigger, is a set screw. Hey baby. So let's go ahead and put in no, don't touch that. There we go. So just double checking my polarity. And let's slide in the trigger pin. Let's find the little set screw. Okay. So far so good. So the trigger's in place. Now let's go ahead and install the magnet. Alright, so the girls wanted a little bit of a nap. No big deal. And let's go ahead and let's install the magnet here. So let's go ahead and put the screw through the back. And okay. Cool, so we got the trigger in place. Now let's go ahead and install the board. And like I said earlier, we put the micro switch, or we put the on-off switch so that we left it in the on position. So we want to make sure it's the on position is that way. Okay, so just notice the trigger switch screws, the stock ones are not long enough to hold the trigger switch down. I don't know what thread those are. I think those are like 6x40 or something like that, but it does have the one additional screw here in the back to lock the board down. Now what we'll do is let's go ahead and put the OLED screen back in place. Nope, solenoid. Okay, maybe not. Let's try putting, we're going to have to figure out where these wires go. So we need to put, let's try putting the solenoid second from the right, and let's try putting the right eye wire here and the left eye wire here, and we'll see if that works. Actually, I got it right on the first try. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you how the wires line up here. Now, similar to this board, as you can see, there's 5 plugs across here. The Tadao board has 4 plugs across and then 1 on the bottom. The one on the bottom is, that's basically for the transmitter if you're using a RF type loader. Now, I'm going to go through from one side to the other. The one furthest in the back is your on-off switch. The one in front of it is your solenoid wire. The one in front of that, I don't know if that's the transmitter or the receiver of the I-wire, or some people call it left or right, but this one here is the yellow and black wire, and then the one all the way to this side closest to the trigger is the black and red wire. So we've got on-off switch, solenoid wire, black and yellow wire, red and black wire. So these two right here are the I wires. I'm just not sure which one is the transmitter, which one's the receiver, or maybe the left or the right side, I'm not sure. So, got that in there. The eyes are working. Let me see if you can, I don't know if you can probably see in there or not, but yeah, okay, there we go. So you can't see the eyes are working, and when I put my finger down on the breech, I do see it indicated on the OLED board. So now what we're going to do is tuck some of this spaghetti into the grip frame here. Cool. So we've got the Tadao Technologies OLED board installed in the MacDev Droid. Actually looks really nice. We've got the Violent Products trigger on here, and I'm going to have to do a little bit of adjusting to get this how I like it. And you know, if you own a Droid or even any other marker that's out there, take a look at Oringmonkey.com. They make one hell of a kit. This is the TechPB kit. It's got, I don't know, it's like 20 or 30 different O-ring sizes in here. I've already repaired a ton of guns with this thing already. It's been a lifesaver. So that's about it. Thanks for tuning in. Always looking for an excuse to shoot the Droid. He's going to shoot really good. So let's go ahead and rip through. We got our Violent Products trigger on here. I adjusted it a little bit more. And we got the Tadao Technologies, the OLED screen in here. We got it on semi-auto. So let's shoot it, see how it does. So it'll take a little bit of time to get used to the new trigger, but so far it shoots really good. So I'll probably make maybe make the trigger a little bit stiffer. It's not quite bouncing off as hard as I'd like it to, so probably make it a little bit stiffer, but so far it shoots good. And I think it's the last shot I got, so cool. So that's about it. Go check out ProStar PB if you want more information on the Violent Products, the Delrin triggers, and check out Tadao Technologies if you want more information on the OLED boards. Thank you.